They are from East Palestine, and they wanted to tell you a little bit of their story.
We're in Negley.
Oh, you're in Negley, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is still a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
tell a little bit about how this derailment has affected you.
Do you want to?
Me,
Go ahead, Bob.
it affected me in quite a few ways. At first, I had a real sinus problem, and it just bloated out. My sinuses brought. Then my doctor got rid of that, and then a little bit into that, I got dialysis. My kidneys.
Dialysis.
Dialysis.
What happened was in May, he got what they said bacterial pneumonia.
Yeah.
While he was on life support,
Oh my.
I had
Take your time.
It was very hard.
so I signed papers to have him put on dialysis. His creatinine numbers jumped from a 3 to a 9, like instantly. So he was dying. He was on
Yes.
life support for 10 days. But he fought through that. But it's been, since May, he's had several issues. Like, he takes a lot of medication a day. I think he takes like 36.
For the rest of my life.
We now got him on home dialysis because he was on hemo, and we had to go 3 days a week. So now we're at home doing it.
Which is much easier.
Yeah.
Yes. Much easier.
He's had lung issues since, like his lungs wasn't great to begin with, but he's had lung issues. I've had more like sinus, I've had muscle aches, I've had rectal bleeding.
Yeah. We're going through a lot.
And
Going through a lot.
this was none of this before the derailment for you.
No.
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you not.
So what would you like to say, or what do you have to say to people out there that might be out there somewhere in this country that
It's not safe.
Not very much. It's not safe at all.
you're about 3.3 miles from where,
Yeah.
Yes.
but you are you're downstream.
We are downstream. That's,
Yeah.
and not only that, but like from our field where we live, we stood outside when they were getting ready to detonate it, and it just came right over. We took off to the house,
So
you know.
plume.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it just kind of circled all the way around. It looked like it was just laying, you know, right directly above, and it just laid there forever until we couldn't see it no more, you know, because it got dark, but it just laid there. It was just like right there.
Yeah.
But the chemicals is horrible. If they do anything in the creek, it's horrible at our house.
Still today.
You mean the
go-
smell, or do you
The
mean
smell is horrible.
It's still today.
Yeah, still today. If something happens, we know something happens in Palestine before I even see it on Facebook of what happened in Palestine.
Yeah.
Because the smell gets horrendous. Like for the first month, you couldn't even drive from East Palestine to Negley without that smell being so bad.
Yeah.
And now it's just whatever they're messing in the creeks.
Yeah.
and we just don't know what the outcome's going to be because we're not really being told.
Well, not
No,
only
no,
that, but
not
they've
told
never
truth.
tested that many chemicals mixed. Never. Like scientists don't even know what had happened
Right.
because it's never been done. I feel bad for everybody.
Yes.
Well, we're hoping that you're gonna be okay.
They,
And,
Right.
and and you're being taken care of, your doctors are taking care of you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they are.
it
They're
is-
good.
it's good to see you,
Right.
Seeing you.
and we're just praying for, the best for you two.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very much.
So this is Vincent, and you were our resident of East Palestine. You've been out of your home
Yes.
since the derailment. So can you tell us a little bit about how this whole thing has impacted you and what happened?
I was staying in my mom's basement, and I just kept feeling really funny, like I couldn't breathe, and like my eyes were like literally almost swelling out of my head, it felt like. And I had constant migraines and stuff, and I just went to my mom one day and I said, "Mom, I can't do it anymore." And so I moved up to North Lima at the Davis Motel, and I've been staying there for about 3-4 months now. And it's just, it takes a toll. And then I recently got laid off from my job actually about 3 weeks ago, and I've been door dashing and trying to make as much money as I can and staying in a hotel, almost barely eating and stuff, It's hard, but, I just keep fighting.
And this is
Pretty
all
much.
since this
Yeah,
catastrophe. It seems
Yeah.
it turned everybody's lives topsy-turvy. And is there anything that you want to say about the direction that things are going, or just any last words?
I just hope that Norfolk Southern realizes what they're doing to our community and how negatively it's affecting us, and I just hope that we all stay together and fight this together instead of pretty much splitting, and come together as a community instead of splitting.
So this is Jamie, and she's a resident here in East Palestine, and she has a story that she would like to share. So tell us a little bit about how this derailment has affected you.
This derailment has changed my entire life. It has made me lose my government, the country that I was so proud to call home. It's made me lose my hometown. It's made me lose my physical home, my sense of security, and my family. I had 47 family members that lived in the 1 mile zone. I live close to my mother because I didn't want to put my daughter in childcare. Now we're all spread out, something Norfolk Southern could never get back to us, even if they tried. We've permanently relocated because they found a potential pathway to exposure in our basement. Because of the attacks we've been taking from the community, because I've been fighting for real answers. I don't feel comfortable in my hometown anymore. I wouldn't feel comfortable going door to door and asking people if they had unmet needs, just because it'd be kind of scary at this point. I say I lost my country because I don't know what to do now when I see the American flag. I used to feel like that great sense of pride, and I probably would have hooted and hollered when I saw an American flag, and now it's like you look at it and you're like, it was all a deception. Like they've abandoned us. So that's what Norfolk Southern has taken from me, and the derailment's done to my life. It's completely uprooted it, changed my sense of reality.
And how about health-wise? Now that you're moved away, I'm hoping that it's a lot better, but at first...
Yeah, the first, I think it was like the week after, it started almost immediately. My daughter and I both got sick. We were diagnosed with upper respiratory infections. She didn't go back to town after that. I was going back periodically to talk to reporters and just check on people. And I had that upper respiratory infection for 3 or 4 months. 3 sets of antibiotics, 3 sets of steroids, nothing helped. So, it's not even that I'm saying it's from the derailment, it's the fact that I don't know.
Right.
My daughter just recently she's been sick for 2 months now, coughing. Can't get rid of this cold. She took antibiotics. We were giving her Benadryl first. And in my mind, I think, is it just something that's going around this year? Or were her lungs impacted by inhaling the smoke?
Right.
I don't know. And the hard part is, I don't even know where to go to find those answers.
Right, because it's been very difficult for so many people that have been ill for months.
Right.
They're not getting any answers.
And I think on top of it, you know, we have that added pressure of people outreaching to me, asking where to go get help, and I don't know. I had a gentleman this morning, his wife's having like pressure on her nerve in her eye, and he's having some health issues, and he's like, where do I even go? Like, I don't know if this is related or not. I text message to one of the doctors that's researching in East Palestine, and she said, I don't know what to tell him. Like, how do you not know where to tell people to go to get help for medical issues?
Right, really don't know. Any last little tidbits or words that you'd like to leave with?
Just praying that I feel up until this point our government's abandoned us, but I don't feel like it's ever too late to turn that around, to learn from your mistakes, to admit when you're wrong. That's the way I was raised, and I feel like if the government did that, it'd be better than just perpetuating the lies. It's time to step up and to actually look at human health over economic recovery, or at least look at them both simultaneously.
So I'm here with Lisa, who is a resident of East Palestine, and she had just a short little story about how she was affected health-wise by the derailment. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, I started out as volunteering. I unloaded the very first truck of water, came from Walmart at the way station. And I volunteered there in Britton's, and I was full of energy, helped. I was the last one to leave because I always cleaned up. And then on March the 31st, I got sick. And I went and had Chinese the night before. Thought I had food poisoning. Couldn't keep a sip of water down. It was on a Saturday. Threw up all day Sunday. I already had a doctor's appointment for 9:45 for my sugar. And so I finally made it to the doctor. I had to keep pulling over, throwing up. I was weak. I get to the doctor's and she don't even worry about my appointment. She calls an ambulance and has them send me straight to Boardman. I was completely dehydrated. I had no feeling in my legs, in my body, nowhere. No feeling at all. It was like I'd had a whole body epidural. The doctor then checked me, gave me some fluids, sent me home with the puke bag, and I went back that following Friday, and because she called me, and my potassium and my magnesium had both floored. It was, I guess, too low. And so I stayed the night in the hospital that night. Saw 2 different doctors that time. Nobody could still tell me why my body was numb, why I had no feeling. I had a CT scan on my stomach, CT scan on my brain during those 2 visits. Then altogether I have seen 11 doctors. I still have parts of my body, I still have no feeling. I used to fall a lot. I fell down the steps about 3 days ago because my body isn't the same. Nobody will give me a diagnosis, they will not. I went and had an EMG done, and I was excited because no feeling in your legs and your stomach and stuff. And he told me it was from hyperventilating, which I've never hyperventilated in my whole life. And so I was really disappointed when I left that one. But since then they have put me on, I got to meet Doctor number 10 was from New York, and he had happened to come down and he'd read all my paperwork and everything, my tests, and he put me on a medicine, and it is making me feel better. I still am numb. I'm used to that now though. But nobody will diagnose me or.
This is all since the derailment.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So do you have anything you want to say to people that might be watching this video, not necessarily from the town, but just because we have viewers from all over?
Yeah. Well, my thing is, I myself, I would like to know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because, I Googled it, and there's 2 things that comes in. Number 1 is toxic neuropathy. And that's the number 1 thing that I think I have. Or the symptoms and stuff that I have could also be EMS. So I just want somebody to say, hey, Lisa, this is what you got. it is because of the train derailment, it isn't because of the train derailment. I need to know what is going on. But I love this town. I've been here since 2019 and it's amazing. East Palestine, it is a good place with good people. And I want to thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Dr. Rick for all he does. And all his creek videos and
Well, let's
stuff.
say he stays out of that creek.
Yes, he needs to.
Yeah.
See, that's when I got the sickest, was when Daisy was doing the things at the Roadhouse. And I was there by that creek, in which the way station has got the creek right behind it.
Right.
And then Britton's has not far from where the train crashed.
Right, Sulphur.
Yep, so I was there all the time. And so,
And where you live right in town?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I live less than a mile from the train derailment.
Right, okay.
And so,
All right, well, thank you so much. So this is Greg, and he lives in East Palestine. And
Born and raised.
born and raised, oh,
Yeah.
okay, native.
Granddaughters are 8th generation.
So tell us
East
how
Palestine.
this has impacted you.
It has turned our lives upside down. I'm raising 3 granddaughters, and the night of the accident, we had no idea what we were in for, and it's been a hell ever since. I worry, the stress, I'm not worried about myself, but my granddaughters it's through the roof. It's devastating. I don't feel safe in my own home, but I don't have the finances to move or to get out. We stayed away as long as possible. Norfolk will give us money for an Airbnb. And then when that ran out and they said they weren't doing it anymore, we had to move home. We had to go home, and it's been hell.
So I forgive me for interrupting you at the very
you're
beginning.
fine.
You said something about 8 generations, or
My granddaughters now are 8th generation Mashers. My great-great-grandfather, Adolf Masher, was mayor of East Palestine back in the 40s, I think. And we had a jewelry store in East Palestine for 101 years. And they closed down. My mom and dad got divorced my senior year of high school, and they sold the store in 1979. But we were in town forever.
and how do you feel now about staying here? Do you feel safe, or?
I don't feel safe at all. I'm like everybody else. We just want to know what we're dealing with. I thought if Norfolk would have been honest from the very beginning, it would have went a long way to believing them or helping us. But being lied to from the very beginning, I don't have the trust, and I don't feel safe for my granddaughters. I don't feel safe for them. And I think this, the deal with the park is just like hush. That park's been that oval forever. It used to be an old oval track, and they used to have fairs there, and I hate to see it all switched around and moved around. I appreciate Norfolk doing something, but there are so many families in town that need the help more than us needing a new park.
And what Greg means is that Norfolk has given the city council $25 million to build a new park. Is that?
A new park.
A new
And I'm
park.
sure a lot of that is moving stuff around. I mean, it would have been great just to update the park and, maybe put a retractable dome over the pool that the senior people could use all year round. But to move the pool and move everything around, I don't understand it, and I'm not happy with it.
Right. So any last comments to make, or?
No, I appreciate everything you and Rick have done. I watch everything. I'm on all the websites, and I feel bad I can't do as much more than I can, but raising the 3 girls, my life's
You got your hands full.
pretty busy, and I do appreciate everything, and my prayers go out to everybody in East Palestine.
So this is Tracy. She's from East Palestine. She's lived there
since 2012.
so she lived there a while, and she has lots of stories, but let's give a recap of what has happened to you these past several months since the derailment.
Since the derailment, a lot of the health problems that we've had, I've had lesions on my legs, a sunburn like skin reddening when I would go down and use car washes and stuff. I also ended up with a rash when I moved back home after October 31st. The rash also affected, I had an allergy test, and it affected some of the dots that was from my test, which then caused the rash I'm guessing from cleaning my house up and dust and stuff like that.
You were relocated until October 31st.
Yeah, we, when we were told to leave right after the derail, well, right before they did the explosion, we left for a week, came back for 3 weeks, got sick in all different ways. Like we had phlegm, coughing. My husband would cough so bad that he would pass out. Like he couldn't catch his breath and pass out. He fell off the ladder at work. Ended up with other problems from that. It's just been a whirlwind of things, and it all ranged from wheezing and coughing, like I said, the phlegm, sleeping, a lot of it, mental stuff came after that. I had a hard time dealing with a lot of things because I couldn't do the stuff that I was able to do prior to the derailment because my health got bad. My animals outside have suffered. They have allergy-like symptoms, but it seems like it's prolonged and nothing helps them because I put cream and stuff on them and they're still sick. It's still happening to them. It comes and goes, it seems, and it's worse when it's either hotter or wetter out. When we go mow the lawn, and we would have problems afterwards, almost like right after the derailment, like the breathing issues and stuff like that would happen after we mowed our lawn. And we haven't had much problems inside the house since then, but I have had a filter in every section of my house running nonstop for 24/7 since the derailment. Like since I was able to purchase them, they've been running in my house. So we've just been cleaning, trying to get some of that dust and stuff out of the house. But yeah, we've had a lot of issues and they come and go, even now. Like I said, like we just moved back October 31st and we've had health issues and headaches, not being able to sleep or sleeping too much. Like I feel like I'm just exhausted all the time. And then like this, you know what I mean? Like this is coming back again. This has just started happening a couple days ago, but it's starting to come back. Like I'm having this where it's a phlegm and it just doesn't go away. And I don't have a cold. I don't have symptoms of a cold. I don't have anything like that, but I have phlegm and coughing problem. It's just been strange.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get told I'm a liar. I get told I'm not. It's surreal, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any things you would like to just say to the public out there? Any last words?
Maybe some compassion. Compassion for your neighbors, compassion for your friends. They may not be having issues. You may not be having issues. You know what I mean? Like, I can see, like, how mad it's gotten.
The heavily divided town.
Yeah, it is totally divided. And you can just feel it when you're downtown. Like, I can feel it just because I have had issues. So, like, I have more willingness, I guess, to listen to other people that have had problems and stuff. And I don't make fun of them. I don't sit there and downplay them or degrade them. So I would say, like, just compassion, because this may be happening somewhere else and you don't even know. You know, this kind of pollution and stuff happens everywhere. And unless it's uncovered or, like, it's just blatantly done and you can't cover it up like they have. Like, it could be happening in your own town. And when it does happen, wouldn't you want some compassion too? You know what I mean? Like, just somebody to listen to you and believe you. You know, these are things like, you've got to be kidding me. I've lived there since 2012. And all of a sudden, I just have these issues this year. I just can't get over the notion that that is untrue. And just somebody to listen and not call me a liar or anything like that would be nice.
Well, I thank you so much for sharing your story.
Well, thank you for having me.
So this is Misty, and where exactly do you live, Misty?
On West Clark Street in East Palestine.
East Palestine. You've been
Right
there,
up against the tracks.
So you've been there for a long time.
I've been in that house for 15 years.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit how this derailment, what it has done to your life on whatever level you want to talk about? Where do you begin?
Right. There's just so many things. my whole family was most of my family was getting sick after the derailment. We were having breathing issues. We were having walking pneumonia, bloody noses, rashes, and digestive issues as well. And then we have a small, less than 4-pound dog, and she was nonstop having diarrhea and vomiting. So then we left town using what the railroad was doing with the assistance to live in a hotel. So then we lived in a hotel for 8 months, and then decided to let our family home go because we realized we wouldn't be able to come home, because when we would come home I would still get sick, and my dog was still getting sick every time we brought her back to town. So then we purchased another home. So then we were paying double bills in 2 homes. We had to enroll our kids in a new school, so they've changed schools. I just always thought we would always be there. I went to East Palestine school my whole life, and I just thought that they would do the same. We just went to the school concert at the new school, and they played the fight song there, and it felt so weird, like that I'm not a part of that anymore. It's not my community anymore, you know? And then, even though I'm still getting headaches and stuff whenever I come back into town, I'm trying to come into town so that I can attend my church. Because I hadn't been coming to my church in town. And it's our church. So we've been coming back and going to church and still dealing with the fact of okay, now we moved our family, but we're coming back for church, and is it safe to keep doing that?
Yeah.
So, you wanna try to keep holding on to what you had there, but you also have to let it go in order to move forward. And also, if you are one of the ones that are having health issues, in order to stay healthy, And then mentally, it's just taken a complete toll on me to where I'm just exhausted, mentally exhausted. I'm back in therapy where I just, I don't know. I just need someone to tell me that the way that I'm feeling is valid, that feeling robbed of my life is a valid way to feel.
And it is. It's so much was robbed of so many. And is there anything you'd like to say to end with?
I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for everything that you've done. I've known you for way beyond the derailment. I mean, I'm 41 years old. I've known you guys probably since I was about 18, you know? And you have always been great people, but to just take a stand whenever people want to just keep coming at you and to not back down. I've wished I could be you, but there's just some people that they can't carry that load. They just can't, So to be the person that is carrying the load for others, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's our pleasure.
Give me a hug.
Thank you.